Good afternoon. Welcome to Radio Russell Podcast, or if you're looking for it, radiorussell.podbean.com. You'll find my podcast there. Thank you very much for joining me. It's going to be a great, wonderful day. First off, and first up, as a matter of fact, is I hope everybody set their clocks back an hour. I set mine back an hour and I still got up at the same time, which means I lost an hour. But who cares? Got to sleep in a little bit, if you will, if that's the way they call it. So anyway, as you can tell, the title of the show today is Woke. What is woke? That's the name of the game. Been hearing a lot of this around. Woke. Are you woke? Nice to be woke. I always thought it was something that you did out of a sleep, like I just woke up. But that terminology has been stolen, if you will. Taken by the left. Once again, something goes to the dark side. Who knows, Donald Trump, I am your father. Well, at least they think so. Anyway, woke. What is woke? How many people understand what woke means in today's world, if you will? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because at work, I had somebody, because I was talking politics, of course, as I always do, and I mentioned something along the lines of China. And the young gentleman said, nice to be woke. And I thought about it for a minute, and I was wondering, woke. What was he meaning by nice to be woke? Then come to find out, he wasn't talking about being woke as a sense of all the travesties that are happening in China. But he was talking about the vision of the youth and racism. And this struck me really, really funny. How did they get racism out of the word woke? So, let my hands do the typing through the computer to find out exactly where things are coming from. And first thing up on the Google search, this is what Google's dictionary states it is, the word woke. Are you ready for this? This already started the whole ball of wax going when I read this. Alert to injustice in society, especially racism. We need to stay angry and stay woke. That's quote unquote straight out of Google. Google, what is woke? That's exactly what's going to come up in Google. Number one on the hit list. And I went, are you serious? They took this word and attached it to injustice in society, especially racism. We need to stay angry and stay woke. Whoa, this blew my mind. This is seriously the views of Google. And it's a small, minute way of twisting words and the way it's presented. So I had to dig deeper. I went to the Webster's Dictionary, which says past tense of wake. That there, my friends, is woke. It continues on to say, I woke up from a sleep. But now it is being used to instill racism in our youth. That part was not in the dictionary. It was past tense of wake. I woke up from a sleep. My own version is, but now it's being used to instill racism in our youth, because the youth are using this woke. And a lot of them don't understand why they are using the word woke, because it's being used for a lot of things. Oh, look at that. The grass is mowed. Oh, I woke. Whoa, the grass is mowed. I understand. It's the injustice of having long grass. But think about this, folks. Woke means racist, and you understand now what racism is going on in the world. This is how they're presenting it on Google. Anytime there is injustice, as in their eyes, they say they are woke. And what I mean by that is anytime there is injustice, as in their eyes, the person that's saying it, doesn't mean about racism as the color of your skin, as most people would think. It's more than that now. Now it's woke. Any injustice. So if a right-leaning person wants to speak at Berkeley on the dilemmas of building a wall, let's say, now these people that are protesting are woke because they consider that injustice. It's part of all how the PC culture is tearing down our society, little by little, and the youth have been indoctrinated into this. And it's good that they actually think this way, to be honest with you, because when they actually become woke, they will become Republicans, because they will understand the injustice that the left and the Democrats are actually doing to this country. But because they say the word woke and see the injustices of their own statute of what they say is injustice, they haven't really been woke. They're actually still asleep in a slumberland. But when they wake from the delusions that the left is putting forth, then they would be woke. This is a tactic used by those who want to overthrow a ground or country or society by changing their view or belief. Think about that. It was used widely during World War II, but very blatantly within the media of my time and age was Vietnam era and beyond. You hear the government talking about winning the hearts and minds of the enemy. They even use it now in the Middle East, in Syria and the rest, winning the hearts and minds. That's exactly what the tactic is. The difference is we're trying to show the other enemy people what a good life that we think we have. They might like communism. They might like the Sharia law. They might like socialism and the world's run by the governments. That's their belief. But society, to control a country, you have to change that belief. So to control the American people, you have to make them believe that freedom and capitalism and the right to live your life the way you want to is not right. It's wrong. Also, If you go to dictionary.com, it states, this is a beauty, folks. This is just unbelievable. Woke means being conscious of racial discrimination in society and other forms of oppression and injustice. In mainstream use, woke can also more generally be described someone or something as being with it. Did you catch this? How many of the folks out there, are you with it? Get with it. Come on, man, get with it. You notice how they've taken woke and the meaning of oppression and injustice and attached it to with it. Be very scary of how things are presented to you, folks. Whether you're reading the newspaper, some of the left-leaning, even right-leaning, be conscious of how it's being worded. Please do the research for yourself. I want to read that one more time, and then you're going to be shocked to where I ran into who presented woke the most. The dictionary.com states, woke means being conscious of racial discrimination in society and other forms of oppression and injustice. In mainstream use, woke can also more generally describe someone or something as being with it. You can look that up online, dictionary.com. That's how they state it. Dictionary.com also states, are you ready for this? They also point to Barack Hussein Obama as the one pushing the use of the word woke as a racial discrimination issue in America. Barack Obama took the word woke and installed it, or his marketing people or whatever they do within their administration, and started pushing the word woke as racial discrimination. This is mind-blowing. Think about this, people. They're taking words that were written for one thing and twisting them and making them mean something else. It even gets further in. I don't want to go off into the weeds on this. I want to stay on woke. But I want to bring up the stuff and words that people just use every day now, and it has the same connotation or results in it. The word sick means good, or that's awesome, something like that. Or the word fat. Oh, man, that's fat. Oh, that's sick, man. Good stuff. And if you think about it, it's taking our words and our vocabulary and reversing the meanings of what they are. And that's how you get people confused and chaos. That's why I don't believe too much in abstract art. Abstract art has no meaning. That's the problem. Good art, people know what it means. Even a Picasso, you look at it and you go, oh, that's a person in that person's view. But if you take some of this, look at that statue in front of the Chicago City Hall, I think it is. What the heck is that thing? Anyway, that's off on another tangent. Also, notice how they present only in America. America, only in America. They do not use the terminologies like woke and stuff about nothing about discrimination in the Middle East or China or any communist country for that matter. They don't speak about the injustices around the world, only the injustices here in America where they think the injustices reside. These people hate America, but yet they'll wrap their flag, themselves in the flag, and say how great we love America while they destroy it from within. I'm just amazed by this. So I say, stay woke to the ways of the left and their racial discrimination towards America. That's my point here today on woke. You have to stay woke to the racial discriminations that the left are using towards the American people and the way we live our life. Stay woke. Use it against them, which brings up the other issue about racism. And I have a challenge for everybody. I'm so sick and tired of them using the racism issue anytime they have an issue come up that they can't win, speak on, have facts about, or whatever, they start calling you a racist. So, if you have this problem, I have a challenge to make. Anytime someone comes up to you and calls you a racist in fun or serious, ask them to prove it. Because if they cannot, then they are the racist for labeling you a racist without knowing the facts and using your skin color to judge who you are. So if somebody comes up to you and calls you a racist and you say, why am I a racist? And they said, because of that reason. And it's not true because they're making a judgment factor on you based on your skin color. And I don't care if you're white, black, orange, pink, yellow, red, whatever. If they can't tell you straight why you're a racist and prove it, then they are the actual racist for judging you on your skin color for actually presenting it to your face. Think about that. Everybody you see on TV that are yelling a racist person cannot prove that those people are racist. Now, if you go to the KKK or something like that, and they're standing there in a white sheet burning a cross, you might have a pretty good idea they might be racist. But if you go up to somebody that's a right-leaning person, such as myself, that believes in America and believes in the Constitution and the laws of this country, and they call me a racist for that, baby, I'm telling you, they're the racist because they call me a white male privileged person. That means they're racist and they judged me on my skin color. And it doesn't matter who's doing the judging. They call you a racist for no reason at all. They're the racist for judging you on your skin color. I'm tired of it. Turn it around on these people. All right. Now that's off the chest, if you will. Please do that. Do that. If somebody comes up and calls you a racist, say prove it. And if they can't, then they are the racist for judging you on your skin color. Simple as that. Okay. I have another question for everyone. Again, here we go. Who is the whistleblower? Man, did I ever slam on the brakes on that one, didn't you? Go from woke to the whistleblower. Think about this, people. This is something that's really been cracking me up, something else today. The whistleblower. If you think about Adam Schiff, and I'm not going to use him for right now, and all the leaks that our government is giving to the press on just about everything that the Trump administration is doing, and everything that is being said, done, leaked, and presented to the news, whether it's true, fake news, not news, whatever, they're just dumping all this information. So with the huge leaks draining the swamp, I really think the leaks are draining the swamp. Isn't that cool? It's draining, the leaks are draining the swamp, and every news organization grabbing each tidbit of information coming from every orifice in our government, and no one seems to know who this person is. Are you kidding me? Seems like Jeffrey Epstein of the Ukraine, if you ask me. You got all this evidence, everything laying right there. All these people that are snooping, taking pictures and reporting and running to the cameras and saying this person did this, and the lying that's going on, and no one knows who this person is. I can't believe it. Think about that. When Epstein was killed, all the cameras are broke. The people in charge are sleeping and forgot to check to see who this person is. The coroner could not tell how he died, or how an organization with so many holes and leaking faster than the Titanic, and still no one knows who the whistleblower is. Are you joking me? Or should I say, in Epstein's case, are you choking me? That was a bad joke. I like that joke. I'm going to keep that around. Well, we do know he is a he. Okay, so let's dig into the whistleblower. Everyone keeps on saying, well, it's a he, she. No, it's a he. They've slipped to that tongue many times. So we do know it's a he. They also reported that he knows Adam Schiff. And that we do not know, however, and we don't know that. However, the whistleblower is somehow part of the intelligence community. We don't know his other precise role or exactly in the government he or she works. But the individual is being represented by attorney Andrew Baccha and co-counsel Mark Zed. Think about this. We don't know who the whistleblower is, but we know he's a he. He's in the intelligence agency, works for the community of the intelligence agency. He has attorneys that are representing him. You know, it just takes a little bit more digging, and you can find out who this person is with no problems. So I'm just shocked that none of the news organizations can find out who this man is. So, all right, let's go on now more on this. According to the whistleblower's complaint, the individual was not directly privy to the phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Rather, the whistleblower received information from multiple U.S. government officials regarding Trump's proposed abuse of power to request interference in the 2020 election. What the heck are these people doing now? Do you understand why this is so ridiculous? Because if you read the transcript, there's nothing about the election in there. And if this whistleblower was part of the CIA or FBI or the intelligence community and received information from multiple U.S. government officials, if they get this whistleblower and put him on the bench to be questioned by both sides, hence this is the reason why Adam Schiff doesn't want him there, because the whistleblower is going to be asked, who told you this? And if he received information from multiple U.S. government officials, that means the Trump administration will also know who all the little leakers and spies are that are listening in on his conversations. Even though Trump is one of our most transparent presidents in the history of the United States, everybody knows what this man is doing and what this man is thinking. He gets so many people pissed off because of his tweeting. This man just doesn't stop, and I love the man for it. I do. I think he's awesome. But with so many government officials, and there's a lot of people listening to these phone calls. So why not take this whistleblower who was not part of the conversation, who's getting fed all this information from government officials? But just by them saying, being government officials, do you see how ridiculous all this is? In the complaint, the whistleblower notes that more than half a dozen officials relayed information related to this issue to him or her, they say now, while he or she, as not a direct witness to most of the events, the individual found the accounts to be credible. How in the hell did they find it was to be incredible? I'm a Mr. Nobody. I have no legal background or investigative, well, through a little bit of journalism, you dig a little bit deeper and you can find information. But I have none of the qualities needed to dig this information up. And just by reading that statement right there tells you a lot of information. Think about it. If this person received more than a half a dozen, let's just say 7, officials related information related to the issue to him. So let's just say we have 7 people all coming up to him or her and saying, this is what I heard President Trump said. To the event, this individual found the accounts to be credible. Right down there, right there, that statement right there, found to be credible, knocks about 95% of the people out of the game. Anybody that has the ability to judge the credibility of a report coming to him through government officials means that person has the ability to make a decision upon that information. So that person has to be fairly high up. So, now backing up a little bit. My twisted brain, as it is, thought to myself, who would have the credibility and the power and the position to take this information to the Democrats in Congress and push an impeachment issue, yet keep his name out of the papers? Only one person comes up to mind. Are you ready for my twisted brain? Adam Schiff. If he is, because he would not be on the phone call, but all his cronies that were on the phone call would come to him and report it. And he had those lawyers write up the complaint that was very lawyerly, they call it. He has the ability. He has the motive. He hates Trump. He has the position, and he has the prowess, and he has the ability to take all that information and present it to the House for impeachment rules or whatever. Then he gets to question everybody. So my bet is Adam Schiff is the whistleblower, and I am nobody. So think about that, folks. Who is the whistleblower? High up in the ranks. The ability to make a judgment call and decision whether information being given to them is credible enough. I mean, you could have people like James Clapper. You could have people like, all those people that were in charge or in trouble, whatever. So why so many people talk to this person who was not on the phone with all these spies giving information to a single person and no one will tell us his name? It's got to be Adam Schiff. Think about this. Every woman coming out of the woodwork to lie about Judge Kavanaugh and proven they were liars, and yet no one will say his name. They knew every woman. They knew every aspect. They knew all the details. They dug into it. How can they keep this whistleblower's name such quiet unless it was Adam Schiff? So, at this point in time, I accuse Adam Schiff as being the whistleblower who was not on the phone call, who hates Trump. There you go. Think about it. I don't know. It's gotten so screwy there in Washington with all the leaking going on. How can they keep that person's name a secret unless it is the very person that will not reveal the name? Which means if they did, he'd have to be on trial also. So either our media and all of them are that stupid or inept at getting information, or they are covering up for this person who is now of no importance to the impeachment process. Or it's Adam Schiff. How can you take somebody that lit this fire for the Democrats and then turn around and say, oh, we don't need them anymore? That's hogwash too. Since he gave the Democrats the weak-ass material to speak about impeachment and then say we don't need him anymore? Are you kidding me? They don't need him anymore? That's like saying you don't need the person who is driving the car in a race, and once the race starts, the driver is no longer needed. Take him out of the car. You got to have the person that accused so-and-so. You have a right to confront your accuser. The whistleblower is the accuser. Trump has the right to confront him. So without the whistleblower, there is nothing. And since he was secondhand information, it is still nothing. And like I said, I'm nobody. I'm absolutely nobody. And yet, I can come up with some kind of a solution. It might be a crazy solution. It might be a bunch of crap. Who knows? But at least I got a solution. I mean, they're lying so much. Let's blame it on Schiff. Schiff is a whistleblower. Boy, am I going to catch hell over this one, I tell you. So anyway, Adam Schiff in my book is a whistleblower. Da, 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 da. So, all right, moving on. I'm going to bounce over to the polls that you see on TV all the time. These polls you're seeing and hearing on the news are so slanted that I have to say something about them. They're driving me wacko, as you can already tell. Even Fox News is so wrong in reporting them, it drives me nuts. How can you well, that's because Paul Ryan's part of the board, and they also have Donna Brazile in there, and they even are trying to bring Kelly Megan or Megan Kelly back on after all the crap she did. I can't believe it. Can't believe Tucker did that. Anyway, you know the Democrat Socialists have their fingers in Fox's pie, and they are slowly destroying the pie completely, because Fox has been a force for the right and the Constitution. But now the Democrats and the left socialists have their pies in that news organization, and they're stirring it bad. They're really making it rough on some of the holdouts, if you will, of the left or the right leaning. My point is this. They say half of the registered people think Trump should be impeached. And I went, why are they saying that? Half of the registered people think Trump should be impeached. Well, that leaves the other half that says he should not be impeached. Oh my God, does this sound like the election? Half of the country voted for Trump, half of the country voted for the idiot Hillary. But at that time, they didn't know what kind of person Hillary was. How come it's always a half-empty glass scenario with the news? Then Trump has a rally, and he blows those statistics out of the water. My God, the rally he had down in Dallas, what was it, 20,000 inside, 30,000 outside? Good Lord! That's incredible. So, what are you going to do? So the stats drive me nuts because every one of them shows that any one of the Democratic candidates will beat Trump in the election. Folks, I'm telling you, anybody that would honest to God believe that Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden could beat Trump in the election seriously lives in a delusional world. Why do you think they're pushing so hard to get Trump impeached before the beginning of next year? They have to have this done. Otherwise, their whole argument is dead in the water. They have to have it done in December before the beginning of January, because January kicks off the serious momentum for the presidency, and the Democrats have to have a nominee by then. And they have no one, absolutely no one that they will back on. Unbelievable. It's just completely shocking to me. And what's really shocking, if AOC was old enough, they'd put her in charge. They're actually thinking about Nancy Pelosi being president. Did you hear this theory? Nancy Pelosi being president? If they impeach Trump and get Pence out of the way, she's president. Think about that, folks. Can you imagine this country as Nancy Pelosi being president? Unbelievable. And in my turmoil of investigations, something came across my thing there. I wasn't going to talk about anything else, but this popped into my view of research as I was doing. And this happened in North Carolina. A teacher was suspended after she allegedly segregated students based on their religious, and political beliefs. And I went, what? What is this? Why would a teacher segregate her students this way? What happened here? And I'm trying to find out more information. Well, the teacher, her name is Lope, is accused of splitting up students based on certain beliefs, like whether they supported abortion or not. And this is being reported by WNCN TV, reported it. So I had to dig into it a little bit more to find out what the heck is going on here. My question to this is, how would the teacher know what the students' beliefs were if they were not asked about them? Now, isn't it true that most schools have a non-asking policy of politics and religion? Also, if she pointed to a student and says, "Do you believe in abortion?" they say yes or no, and was put on the side of the classroom according to their beliefs. That's possible. It could have happened that way. But then the entire class would be ratting her out. There is something fishy about this story and why it is a story, unless the school itself told her to teach segregation. So these were some of my thoughts. So I was digging a little bit further, deeper, I guess you will. The teacher, Julia Lope. Are you ready for this, folks? A Spanish teacher at South Johnson High School in North Carolina was suspended with pay while the school district investigates claim she segregated students based on their belief. Are you trying to tell me that a Spanish teacher teaching Spanish or Spanish teaching English, whatever, is being racist? In a high school where students are taught racism, and she was a substitute teacher who was just hired full-time for Spanish teaching. She was a substitute at the school, finally got her shot to teaching full-time Spanish, so they hired her, and then the moment they hired her, they put her on suspension because of separation for racism? So if she was so bad and the school hired her full-time, then the school knew her views and beliefs and suspended her on those beliefs. So according to the rules, they left. The left sets up for schools, you cannot be fired for religious or your beliefs or sexual bias or racial bias on those beliefs. They did exactly that to this teacher. They don't tell the nationality of the teacher, but Julia Lope, is she Spanish? Is she white? Is she black? Is she pink, orange, whatever? But they fired her on racial bias. And if she was separating students by religious bias, that means her religion was in question also, so they fired her on that also. So now they fired her for the very reason that they are accusing her of. So think about this. You break the law for discrimination against someone who teaches what they believe, and if it is what she did, so the student is discriminating against her. I do think the left and their stupid rules have opened a huge can of worms within our school system, firing people for their beliefs, which is against the law. Now, I'm sure something after the news gets a hold of the whole thing and blows it up. And oh my God, then they find out she's a Latino that is being fired for racism. That does not fit the communist left narrative. And that story will go nowhere. My question is, though, is why would she do this? Why would any teacher do this with so much blowback in the news with high school students who are just itching to find something wrong so they can sue the school and make money? So why would a teacher even say, hey, do you like a Baptist or a Christian or a Jew? Oh, you're a Jew, so you stand over there. Or was she trying to do something other than? And the article was talking about preparing them for, showing what racism is in the marketplace, according to her beliefs. So I want to get the rest of this story. Did she separate about saying, look, if you're in the marketplace looking for a job and you're Hispanic, you're black, you're white, you're red, you're yellow, whatever, and you don't get that job because of your skin color, that's racism. Or you don't get that job because you don't believe in abortion or do believe in abortion, that's discrimination. Or if you have if you're a Muslim cleric hiring a receptionist, find out you're a Jew and you get fired for being a Jew or not hired, that's discrimination also. So this is a huge can of worms they're opening up also within the school system. So it's pretty amazing all the wacko crazy stuff that's going on. And this is just a tidbit of information that's being presented out there. It just is unbelievable. Oh my God, I'm woke. Seriously, folks, look up woke. If you're wondering about racism in our country and you hear the youth using the word woke, it was presented by Barack Obama's administration as being injustice, and it's a racial connotation. I'm going to scroll back up here and get right to it again, because it's very, very injustice in society, especially racism. We need to stay angry and stay woke. Think about that. Stay woke against this kind of stuff, folks. It's getting out of hand, and it's going to get a lot worse. This is the month of November. As of November 3rd, 2020, we elect our president. 1 year from today, the world is going to be sheer chaos. Stay woke. Stay on your game. Make sure you're a part of what's going on out there. Do your research. Watch how things are presented and the words people use to present those ideas. Anyway, make sure you check out my podcast. This will be being put over on the podcast here in a little bit. It's radiorussell.podbean.com for my podcast. Look it up. Follow me, say you like me or whatever. Have any comments, you can also post them here on Facebook. Once again, we live in a wacky world, I'm telling you. It's absolutely nuts. But last thing is, the Bills won the game. Woohoo! I know a couple of people that are very happy about that. Anyway, take care, everybody. Take care. Love y'all. Bye.